Alright, what's happening, y'all? It's your boy Rico from Street Scores coming with a Landon Collins topic. So, of course, we're going to look at Landon Collins' film while we're at it. But, big news, according to John Kam, Washington is talking with Landon Collins about a potential position switch from safety to linebacker, and thank goodness they're talking to him about it. Remember, even since he was on the Giants, when fans would hit him up and be like, are you switching to linebacker? Can you please switch to linebacker? He would always have some like super crazy aggressive no. It wouldn't even be like, nah, I don't really want to. Nah, I don't really, you know what I'm saying, for this and that. It's just straight up, no, I'm never doing it type of thing. Like 10 toes down, I'm not budging, super stubborn type of energy. And then even more recently, the media finally asked Rivera about how he feels about Landon Collins saying he won't switch to linebacker. And then Rivera basically said he only speaks for himself. And I like that answer too. That's not him directly attacking Landon, but that's also basically saying Landon Collins does not run the show around here. I run the show. He can say whatever he wants, but at the end of the day, where we want him to play is where he's gonna play, because we're paying him too much money for that. And speaking of money, man, Landon Collins' contract is wild, bro. He's getting way overpaid, and I do feel like people are harping on his last season a little bit too much. A lot of people are acting like he was completely useless, and Kam Curl was like the only time we had a good strong safety on the field. He wasn't useless, but he's just bad in coverage, especially deep coverage. But y'all can go literally check out my film session I did on Landon Collins potentially moving to linebacker. Go check that out, and I break down exactly how good he is at specific things and why a move to linebacker would make the most sense. But I think from his point of view, he doesn't want to move to linebacker because he doesn't want to take more hits, which means it would decrease his career's lifespan. I feel like he's thinking more longevity wise. Safeties just take less of a beating. They're more durable. But even then, for his case, he got a severe injury last year. But granted, that did happen in the box. And I'm pretty sure he's looking like, hey, man, the less I'm in the box, the less likely I am to get injured. But at the same time, the less he's in the box, the more likely he is to get exposed. And right now, he has an average salary on his contract of $14 million a year. He's on a 6-year, $84 million contract, and he's due $16.9 million this next season. And then the season after that, 16.2. Season after that, 17.2. And all the way in 2024, $15.2 million worth of cap. That is crazy. And the reason we can't release him is because he would be a $26 million cap hit. He would be almost $10 million more expensive this year alone if we cut him this year. So, but maybe next year he's a $16 million cap hit. You cut him, he's $9 million worth of dead cap. Still not very smart, but you never know. But at the same time, it would be nice to be able to restructure his contract. I would really hope he's open to restructuring his contract. From his point of view, why would he? Why would I? If I'm Landon Collins, why would I ask to get paid a little less money? Especially per year. Especially when you know that the team doesn't love you as much as they did when they first signed you. With Kam Curl coming onto the scene, why would Landon Collins even feel like we may re-sign him long-term for big money? Or why any other team would at this point, especially after the injury he just sustained. So I understand from his point of view why he would not take a restructure, but a restructure would be so nice, man. We would really need that. And honestly, I feel like I dive deep into this in my Landon Collins moving to linebacker film session, where I literally show exact plays and exact traits he possesses, positive and negative, on why a switch to linebacker would be best for him. But like overall, Keanu Neal is moving to will linebacker for the Cowboys. And granted, we haven't exactly seen how it's going to look for him to go full-blown will linebacker for the Cowboys yet. I wish he would have already done it last year so Landon Collins could see what he would have done. I'm assuming it would be a positive impact. So it would have been nice if we already had the evidence there. But right now, Keanu Neal just got to the Cowboys. So Landon Collins, we don't know yet. But I mean, Keanu Neal is making the transition from strong safety to will linebacker. I feel like Landon Collins should be able to do the same, especially since Landon Collins is actually slightly heavier than him. And when Darius Leonard has been at his best, Landon Collins has also weighed more than him, and he plays middle linebacker. We're not even asking Landon Collins to play middle linebacker. We're asking him to play will linebacker. And it's just so weird to try to figure out what we're going to do with Landon Collins, because there's no way you're replacing Kam Curl as a starting strong safety. I mean, his ability to cover tight ends, running backs, to be able to make plays in the box. He's a great open field tackler. He's just so mentally ahead of where you would expect a rookie to be at, first of all, but also a 7th round pick. Like, he's just so mentally ahead. And it's crazy too, because in training camp, Rivera kept having such great things to say about Kam Curl. It was kind of foreshadowing. I remember one of the main quotes Rivera said about Kam Curl is that he never makes the same mistake again. So he's only going to get better and better. If he makes a mistake, you expect him to never do that same mistake again. And that's why he looked like potentially the best rookie strong safety last year, period, regardless of when they were drafted. One of the biggest steals in last year's draft. I don't know how you sit that guy for a Landon Collins, especially since you don't even know how healthy he's going to be coming back from injury. Is Landon Collins even going to be healthy enough to participate in training camp? You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of factors involved. But if we want to have Landon Collins and Kam Curl out there on the field at the same time, maybe we can run more of like a 4-2-5 quite often, with like Landon Collins being the sub defender in a way type of thing. Let him be more of the overhang while Kam Curl is more of the strong safety. But Kam Curl, I mean, you can pretty much ask him to play in the slot. I mean, he can be anywhere. Even though I don't love Kam Curl's deep coverage, I like it way more than Landon Collins is. I still feel like we need that rangy free safety to be our single high deep safety center fielder guy. That's not Kam Curl, but I feel like everywhere else on the back end, box included, Kam Curl can play and excel at. So it's just really hard to find a position where Landon Collins is gonna fit. But if he's willing to play like a sub defender role, overhang, where his primary responsibility is stopping the run, that can maybe work. But at the same time, that's basically almost like playing linebacker to an extent. If he's gonna primarily be in the box, that's basically linebacker. And if there's any defensive line that Landon Collins could have to just not be stubborn about playing linebacker for, it has to be this one. This is the best defensive line in the NFL. If there's one defensive line that you can guarantee Landon Collins to be as clean as possible behind, it's this one. So I understand maybe going to a team with a terrible defensive line and being like, nah, I don't want to play linebacker, because then he's going to be out here getting abused. But if there is a defensive line that he can play linebacker for and take the least amount of hits as possible, it's ours. And then if you think about it, even if Landon Collins moves the linebacker, which is what most of us want to do, does that affect our draft strategy? Honestly, I don't feel like it does. I mean, I feel like if you love JOK at 19, if you love Jamin Davis or Micah Parsons falls, you're taking those guys. I mean, Micah Parsons is more of a middle linebacker. JOK and Jamin Davis are more outside will linebackers, which is kind of what we're asking Landon Collins to transition to. But either way, I mean, with Landon Collins making that much money, we may even be in the thought process or the actual process of calling teams and figuring out how to trade them away, or when we can release them as soon as possible. Maybe a post-June 1st cut type of thing like that. I don't know. But either way, Landon Collins potentially moving to linebacker does not stop you taking a JOK, a Jamin Davis, a Zaven Collins, a Micah Parsons if you love him that much. So I'm answering that question right now. I feel like even if he comes out right now, as I'm recording this video, and says, I, Landon Collins, promise to move the will linebacker and play my best at it, I still feel like that will not affect the burgundy and gold chances of taking a linebacker, because again, I don't think they see Landon Collins as a long-term member of this team. I feel like as soon as they can get out of his contract, whether it be through a trade or release, they will. So I'm pretty sure they're going to be like, hey man, JOK, if he's there, Micah Parsons, any of those guys, they're going to take him. And that will be our will linebacker, outside linebacker of the future. And Landon Collins is just kind of here for now. And Jack Del Rio will get creative with how he's going to get him onto the field. But Landon Collins is not this cornerstone piece that we need to build around. But yeah, man, that's the end of this video. Please like it if you learned anything. If you liked it, please subscribe. If you haven't, hit the bell next to the subscription button so you get notification every time I release a video like this one. Please get in the comment section and let me know how you feel about all of this going down. Do you want Landon Collins to move the linebacker? Do you not want him to move the linebacker? Do you think that he will? Do you think if Jack Del Rio and Ron Rivera end up asking him to do it, will he? Do you think they may even like do it in a way to where they don't say he's a linebacker, but they give him a lot of linebacker-like roles? You know what I'm saying? That's pretty creative ways to get him involved in the box and get the best out of him anyway. So definitely get in the comment section, let me know how you feel about the situation. And of course, man, I really appreciate all of the support, man. Definitely shouts out to everybody that likes every video, every live stream, pulls up to every single one of them, shares them out to everybody they know so we can add more members to the Street Scores family. And big shouts out to everybody that donates, man. I really appreciate all of y'all. And of course, man, big shouts out to all of my sponsors, especially my Pro Bowl sponsors who names you see scrolling on the screen right now, man. I really appreciate all y'all. I'll catch y'all later. Again, tomorrow I'm coming out with the full-blown Washington draft guide. May run for 30 minutes. Stay tuned for that. Catch y'all later. I'm out.